Jim, another story this past week that a lot of people have been sending over different things. I got to see if there's anything comprehensive here.
Or comprehensive or that you can comprehend.
Have you been following the Logan Paul-Kevin Nash feud?
Apparently, Logan Paul said something really stupid, and Nash made fun of him about it, and then Logan Paul responded with, "Well, I'm better than you were."
Well, let's have some.
That's my superficial understanding.
Apparently, it started when Logan Paul interviewed Hulk Hogan, and in the interview, either didn't know what the word shoot meant or pretended not to know what the word shoot meant.
That's right. That's right. That's what it was.
Apparently, Kevin Nash, here's a comment from him. He's not one of the boys. Where would he even learn that shit at? Where's he going up and down talking jargon? In the building? Everyone is in their own motor coach. There is no interaction. There is no socialization. You don't become one of the boys just because you're around them. From what I heard, he's making $5 million for limited dates, and all those other guys are out there making house shows. Fuck you. Fuck you. That's from the boys. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck how many people are following you. If you said you had 24 million Rhodes Scholars following you, you're fucking Jesus. You have a bunch of idiots. So again, there was Kevin Nash reacting to apparently Logan Paul not knowing jargon. Is that jargon that at this point in time you even need to be deep into the business to know? I've got to think he was pulling somebody's leg, because I don't see how you could walk into the building and not know what a shoot means. And since everything is kayfabe is in the goddamn dictionary now, right? The Urban Dictionary, or is it the real dictionary? It may be the real one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so it's not like these are the guarded terms they once were. And if you know what a work is, and he would have to know what that is, because I'm pretty sure, as stiff as he probably was when he first got into business, a lot of guys, hey, we're working here. Then you would have to know what a shoot is. And I don't see, was he just playing dumb, doing a bit, or what? Because otherwise you're a complete imbecile. If that's like, being a dentist and not knowing how to use a toothbrush. That's kind of the first thing you'd pick up, wouldn't it be?
You would imagine, yes. But let's get some audio here. Logan Paul responding to Kevin Nash. He is shirtless and apparently maybe in the forest. I'm not sure where he is. Let's go to this right here.
I got people messaging me. They're like, yo, Kevin Nash is talking shit about you. I said, damn. Who is Kevin Nash? And I mean that. I'm unfamiliar with this guy, which I think is his problem. I'm not as versed in the WWE and in wrestling as maybe I should be, as my peers are. But then how am I so much better than all of them? I don't have the answers to these questions. It is a question. I don't know how I could be the best in the WWE, or at least one of the best. Like, I'm surely a top fiver, and I don't even do it full time. Now imagine if I did learn a little bit. Imagine if I devoted, came one of the boys, learned what the difference between a shoot and a work was. Will that make me a champion? Fuck me. Fuck you. You're one of the old guys who is bitter that I am better at your job than you ever were. And that makes you pathetic. This will be my sport, and I will continue to make guys like you eat your words when I devote a little bit of time to it. So fuck me, fuck you.
Well, there it is, Logan Paul responding to Kevin Nash. What do you think of that?
Well, here's the thing. He is a brilliant heel because he knows instinctively how to be an asshole and say the right things to piss people off. And we've said that. And obviously he knows who Kevin Nash is, because you couldn't walk into goddamn WWE office and not see pictures on the fucking wall, right? If you've watched any television program. So he's working that. Maybe he just said, so I don't know the difference between a work and a shoot. Well, apparently he does now, to somebody who's smarting him up or whatever. But he's a great heel, and he's saying that shit because he knows Nash has fans and it'll piss all of them off. And I got to be honest with you. If you're talking about somebody who gets paid a lot of money for limited dates, Nash was pretty much a trailblazer, Logan. And counting inflation into, he may be on your fucking tail or right up there with you, nose and nose, neck and neck.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
And Logan Paul is a better in-ring performer, but I don't know if he's ever going to be as smart to the wrestling business, even if he knows what a work and a shoot is and all that stuff, as Nash was. And so Nash had very good points about a lot of the guys that are getting the business these days. A lot of them, the money is different and the way that they're treated is different now. And they've got motor coaches or they've got private dressing rooms or whatever. And you don't get to learn how to be one of the boys. But that's not just limited to Logan Paul. There's a lot of these guys that ain't boys. So I think we got a little bit of a heel program here. I think Nash was in the right for responding to Logan Paul in that way. If it was actually legitimately real that Logan Paul didn't even know what a shoot was. But I think Logan Paul did a good job in answering as a heel, because he said exactly everything you would say if you were trying to be a heel. Yeah, I'm good at this and I don't even try. Imagine when I do try, I'll get even better. What a fucking arrogant, obnoxious asshole. That's perfect.
If he was telling the truth, and he may have just said it just to be, part of this promo, but should he know who Kevin Nash is?
Well, again, is there a baseball player playing on a team today that doesn't know who Willie Mays or Mickey Mantle was? Even if you never meet him personally.
I mean, you would think he would either know Diesel, Kevin Nash, or NWO. That's all you need to know.
If you walk into the WWE office, you're going to see pictures of this person on the wall. If you watch any of the programming about the WWE, including some of the programs you're on, they will have highlights of these things. Or the biography, or the this or that, or the NWO, or whatever the fuck. You watch Peacock. You pick up a fucking wrestling magazine. You're on an interview on a fucking podcast or a website with people talking about wrestling. No, you couldn't. He might not have heard of Carl Fergie. I'll give him that one. But there ain't no way Logan Paul hadn't heard of Kevin Nash.
Like, does that make him look good saying, I don't know who Kevin Nash is? Is that worse than not knowing what a shoot is?
Well, no, because it gets him heat with the wrestling fans for being a fucking obnoxious piece of shit. So whether it's true or not, that's what he should say as an obnoxious heel.
Well, Kevin Nash responded. I have a few quotes here. If you watch it back, I didn't say fuck you. I said fuck you for the boys. I guess I'm one of the boys, so yeah, I guess technically. But I don't have a dog in the race, man. I don't have anything in the race. I love the fact that the boys are making that kind of money. It's just that the rebuttal, I just took it in character when we talked about it and just did what you do. You just embellish a little bit because we get a soundbite out of this. Okay, I guess he's just saying that he started up to get a soundbite. I'm not sure what he's saying.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, here's Kevin Nash on Logan Paul practicing. I asked a person that's been in the ring with him, how is he? He said he's amazing as far as what he could do physically. He just doesn't remember anything.
Oh, that is something that is a trait with some people.
I don't know how much truth there is to this or not, but they brought a ring down and brought a couple of trainers or boys, and they go through his matches. Maybe he said he should get more depth of knowing the history. He's smart as fuck because Puerto Rico, I want to think there's like a 4% tax or some shit there. So I guess he lives in Puerto Rico because of the tax situation, and WWE has sent down a ring and trainers to work with him for his matches. Let me stop there.
He lives in Puerto Rico on purpose. Every wrestler I've ever known that went to Puerto Rico couldn't wait to get back. They called it island fever. Get me the fuck out of this place.
Does that change anything about what you think about Logan Paul? The idea that he's practicing matches move for move, maybe? Or at least...
Well, no, I figured that. I mean, they walk through matches amongst experienced professionals these days before TVs, both for camera angles or entrances or run-ins or positioning, whatever the fuck. No, I was assuming that they were working with him heavily on these matches. What I think that Logan Paul has a talent that is a natural, it's not easy to teach, not only his athleticism, but the way he reacts to things in the ring. You can't practice reactions, or you can't practice just having heel instincts like saying these things and getting people fired up and getting us to talk about him. He's a really obnoxious, fucking arrogant, pompous bastard. And I like that about him. Now that recently, he may very well be a Trump fuck, in which case that diminished his appeal to me greatly in my eyes, but you still got to recognize when he has a talent for something. But as far as doing those 20-minute matches, they weren't calling those in the ring. I don't even think the main events amongst the very most experienced guys are called in the ring anymore. But
well, on that topic, let me finish the last quote I have here. You're not a top 5 guy if you can't. When I was 42 years old, if you can't go out there and I'm sitting at home in the dressing room drinking beer and we got 12 minutes and they give us the finish and your music plays and mine plays, you're not one of the top 5 guys if you don't know what the fuck we're doing. If you can't just go out there and call it. He has to be reminded. So that answers your, or at least...
Yeah. Well, and see, that's the thing. Even let's say Cody and Roman Reigns is the main event. They're going to work that match out. That's not to say that they either one couldn't go in the ring and call one or call the same match, but they're still going to work on it ahead of time. But guys who are not at that level of experience are going to have to work on it more. And there needs to be a leader. And remember, one of the Logan Paul matches we didn't really understand and didn't really enjoy was Ricochet, because he wasn't a main event guy and there was no real leader. They just wanted to do fancy moves and dive at each other. So Logan Paul, he needs a leader and he needs practice. And at this level of his experience, he should, because he didn't train the normal way. But that doesn't diminish Nash's point that you can't really be one of the top guys in the company if you can't go out and do this from scratch.
Well, Jim, maybe Logan Paul can reach out to a wrestling veteran for some help, learn how to have the instincts to call it in the ring. Maybe he needs to call somebody and maybe needs a good phone plan.
Well, if you need to call it in the ring, you got to call somebody that knows how to call it in the ring. And then they'll tell you how to call it. So you know who you need to call? Mint Mobile. Because you don't even just have to call, you can text. Because with Mint Mobile, folks, they're here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. And all these plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text. So you can text Logan Paul and say one tackle, drop down, hip toss, drop kick, powder out. Or you can call and you can say one tackle, drop down, get it again, take me over. You can call all the spots you want to call by either written communication or actual verbal communication on the nation's largest 5G network. Brian, what is a 5G network?
It's bigger than a 4G network, I'll tell you that.
Well, there you go, and they got one. And the Mint Mobile wireless plan start at just $15 a month, so you're not going to spend all your money. You can use your own phone on any of the Mint Mobile plans. You can use your own phone number. As a matter of fact, for an extra premium cost, you can use other people's phone numbers. You can just say, on Tuesday, I'd like you to forward Dolores's calls over to me, and they'll do it.
It don't work like that, and you shouldn't want that. You should just want the best for yourself with Mint Mobile.
Well, they give you a lot of personal service. And you can ditch the overpriced wireless, get 3 months of premium wireless service, $15 a month. It totals $45. That's 15 times 3. And all you got to do to get this new customer offer is go to mintmobile.com/JCE, mintmobile.com/JCE, And here's the thing. Maybe take your cell phone, they make those things so small these days, and stick it in the crotch of your tights. And that way, when you're out there in the ring, you can have somebody that knows what they're doing call you and call the match for you. And all you have to do is keep one ear on your crotch. And that way they can walk you through the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but get a great phone plan with Mint Mobile. Use your own phone. Do whatever you want. Be in control with Mint Mobile. What's that promo code, Jim?
JCE. Every time you see Logan Paul in a match and his opponent gets him in a head scissors, he's listening to the Mint Mobile phone plan in the guy's tights telling him what to do. And then he nips up and does the spot. Also, you'll see a lot of men are putting their heads in other men's laps these days.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you could find out what other people are talking about when you call them or accept the phone call with Mint Mobile. What's that promo code, Jim?
JCE. And that's the thing is that if you stick that phone in your pocket or in the crotch of your tights or whatever, then anybody that puts their head within about a 3-foot radius of your crotch will be able to hear what's going on.
Oh, you hear that music? You know what that means? We got to wrap it up with Mint Mobile. One more time, Jim. What's that promo code?
JCE.
That's right.
Phones in the crotch for everybody.
Phones in your hands, to your head, talking to your people with Mint Mobile. My pen is snapping if you hear that. Sorry, everyone.
Phones in your hands, to your head.
All right, well, Jim.
Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground.